Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Partners in Marriage PIM. I'm your co-host, John Godbolt,
And I'm Vertel Godbolt.
and we are so excited to have you with us in our part three of being more than friends and lovers, being partners, as we talk more about marriage and the work side of marriage, not just the romantic side of marriage. Okay, and remember, go to our website at www.partnersinmarriage.com. And we got a lot of self-help information there. And follow us on all our social media platforms as well. We are out there with a lot of things going on, and we want to make sure that you are getting the information. Got books that you can buy. You can get to us on workshops. We do workshops. We do individual counseling. You can sign up and get your counseling, premarital counseling, intermediate workshops, engagements, you name it. We do all those things around marriage. Now, part three is bigger, and I'm taking more time talking before we get into it. Part three is we're back and better. Now, we're talking about partnership because we don't have any problem with a lot of you lovers. You got that down pat. You know how to be romantic. But you got to know consistencies in your partnership as well as friendship. But we're going to talk about partnership today, and it is we're back and better. The first thing you can start us off, but I got this thought in my mind about when I think about deepening your respect for your partner. I call it walking in their shoes, and I did this demonstration once in the church to a couple. And I had the men to put on their wife's shoes,
Yes.
and they had the women put on their husband's shoes. And of course, it didn't fit. The women were flopping around with these incredibly big shoes on, and the men had about 3 toes in the heels,
Yeah.
and they could not put their heel in the heels.
Yeah.
So the point in all of this is, until you understand what one person is actually facing or touching or being touched by, you don't truly appreciate them or respect them where they should have that level of respect.
Right. And that is so true. It's like if I don't know how you feel and respect you in that regard, even if I don't agree, but I still have to respect what you think, because perception is reality. And so I have to respect you as a man, first of all, and then as my husband. And you and I always talk about, even in counseling, that if I respect you, if you say something to me as an adult to adult, then I need to respond to you with respect as an adult, and not as a parent
To a child. Right.
And so that's what sometimes, especially like if you're tired and it's been a long day or whatever, you sometimes you let your guard down and you say things, and then you have to think about, I didn't say that right. So we always have to have, in partnership, respect is definitely paramount.
May I give an example, a personal example of one that I learned about you? When we had our first child, the difficulty you had to go through with the pregnancy, I'm talking about even not just the birthing of our daughter, but the pregnancy, the can and all that.
Spit cup.
Yeah, the
Yes.
spit cup. Yeah, I hate to put you through that, but when we got to that hospital and you had to have a C-section, and I thought about, man, could I do that? I had to respect the work that you had to go through, the way your body had to change, and then of course to ask for a second child, wanting a son as well, being able to say, I know what I went through, Lord have mercy, it's going to be the same thing again, hopefully it'll be better, making those choices. So my respect, when I look at the children and grandchildren now, it makes me say, this wouldn't have happened if I didn't have a woman who loved me to say, I'm willing to go through this. And that puts you on another level when you understand what your person, again, walking in their shoes, you understand what they're going through.
Exactly.
And the second one is taking personal responsibility. I think that is just as important, that when you think about being a good partner, you realize what your role is. And like you're saying, those words that you let your guard down. I think it's okay to let a guard down as long as you think before you say anything.
Right.
It's okay to have some fun of saying, whew, whatever that is. But before you say something, say it out loud in your mind.
Right. It's kind of like what I've heard you say just recently about think, like if it's can you
If it's
remember?
true,
Yeah,
if it's true, if it's helpful,
Yeah.
if it's with integrity, if it's necessary,
And
if
it's
it's
kind.
Think.
Because it could be one or two or three of those things. But
yeah.
if it's not all of them, then you need to consider what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another piece.
And
Again,
that's respect.
This is a fast session, but we got so much more to talk about. See your spouse. I thought that was cute when you talk about them and ask them, when I see you, I can say, and I know you're carrying a big load. What can I do to help lighten the load? And that's important to ask that question, unless you're some kind of prophet and God speaks to you every second about life. And that wouldn't be fair, because God does not move in realms where he expects you. He's given us dominion in. I've got to step up as a man and not say, pray about it. No, God said, I'm giving you dominion in that area.
Exactly.
And humble yourself and say, preachers, what can I do to help?
Right.
And if you say, nothing, okay. But I still got to watch.
Yes, and the same for me. A lot of times, I can't do what you do, and so you got to see me, especially when it comes to things like bugs, even if I see one in water bugs, I'm afraid of any kind of. I just scream, bae, really loud, and he most of the time, he's
Here I come to save the day.
He does not do that, but he does. He will kill whatever it is, and he always, if it's raining, he comes to the other side. If I don't have an umbrella, and it just happened last week. I believe it was last Monday.
We were in the gym.
We were at the gym,
yeah.
and the rain was not in the forecast, so I didn't take my umbrella in. He went to the car, he got the umbrella, he brought it back and waited for me and walked me to the car. And I saw other ladies standing back, they were saying, man, it's raining today. Their husbands weren't there, but mine was. And so, he saw me. He said, I'll go get the umbrella, and he did. And so those kinds of little things makes the partnership much, much better. And it's back and better.
Yeah. And
Yes.
the final one on this one is discuss the bigger picture regularly. We talk often about the kind of things we want to do for our home, because we want to bring guests there. And we're looking at HGTV, or we're watching something.
Yes.
We'll say, we can do this, we can do that. Because the bigger picture is to be better servants, mission-minded, to help others in when we're doing what we're doing. And so talking about that, talking about those hopes and dreams and goals,
Right.
so important.
I thought about one thing, changing tracks. When I was looking at this and it was talking about dreams and goals, I remember back in 22, I believe it was, when we went to Alaska, and I was the one. You said, well, what do you want to do? Where are we going to go? So we've been quite a few places. And I said, well, you know what? I think Alaska this time. And the reason being is, when you go on a cruise, I wanted it to be not just fun and beautiful, but I also wanted the spiritual aspect.
Yes.
So when I saw this cruise come across our purview, I said, oh, we could go here, because then we would get, the preaching and the singing and all of that. And that particular cruise, we got to see a lot of people that we would not have seen. We even saw Kirk Franklin in the breakfast room.
That's right.
So it was
Yeah.
it was really really nice. But you did that cruise. You chose that particular one because I wanted to go,
Sure.
and not because it was, that was a dream of mine. I heard a lot of people talk about how beautiful Alaska was, and I said, oh, we could kill both birds with one stone.
Or get the best of two worlds.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
guess what? We went over again. It's good. It works. I'm glad you're still hanging in here with us. Remember, go to our website at partnersinmarriage.com. And remember, marriage is not a destination. It is a journey of love.
Yes.